one of the things that I picked up during my very early days of Jesus Youth was my own experience in JY homes back in Kerala. I used to go to Eddie Chetan's house, Mano Chetan's house, and so many elders like George Gloria, so many people, so many names are coming to my mind. That really touched me, and that day I thought, like, when I get married, I want to open up my home like that, if I'm getting married, you know. So that there was a desire like that, and luckily, God bless. We got a marriage like that, and we both agreed on that.
I think like downstairs, like Sonal Chetan, I believe, used to meet with like a few of the adults. And then upstairs, the youth used to meet. And turns out it was just youth. I had no clue. I just thought it was like a youth prayer meeting, whatever. Like Sindhu Chechi was almost always there, so was Sony, and a few others. I remember like Binu, Lijo, Sanosh, like a few people like that would sort of, be there as well.
Okay, let's try it again.
Yeah. Jambo, Jesus loves you. Are you happy? He's with you. Karibu, into his presence. Why do you worry? Hakuna Matata.
But what I experience is like, the youth are so adventurous, and they are always seeking. So if they have a place, a space, an opportunity, and a community that they trust, they will open their heart.
I, to this day, will say that most of the most amazing JY Chetis and Chetans within the movement nationally mostly came from the Northeast. Would you agree? I would say that. Honestly, just seeing them be with each other and the friendship that they had and the commitment that they had to coming to all of these things, singing, and not just seeing them pray and sing, all of those things were so beautiful, but I think just seeing them exist together and have fun and goof around, and seeing these Chetans have snowball fights and wrestle each other, and the Chichis just sitting around talking, just growing up in that environment was just it was such a beautiful, I think it was such a huge blessing growing up.
I remember me and Brian, I used to pick Brian up from home. One of my first memories of him was when he was a baby. I dropped him on his head. Sorry, everyone, now you understand a lot. When I got married, I wanted to have a lot of children, and I didn't have any. So I was very much wanting to be a mother, desiring that motherhood, and I didn't understand it for quite some time. But the Lord somehow brought these guys slowly into my life, starting with Brian and a couple of his crew, and started bringing them together. But I had a real desire for them to know the Lord, to really have a deep encounter with Him. Tony, Kevin, and Joji came and said, we want to restart prayer, because I was traumatized after Brian, after he went to college and didn't come back. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore with any kids. So then I was like, okay. Then these guys came and said, Chechi, please, we need a place to start praying. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna drive around like I did those guys. You're gonna have to come. You're gonna have to have the desire to come to my house to pray. I would pick up Tony from his house, which is in South Yonkers, and I had Tony in the front seat because he always sat passenger, always shotgun, hands down. And then Mr. Tony Pateri would be like, yo, my G, my no, my B. I'm like, dude, I was like, Tony, speak English. And he would be like, no, my blah, blah, blah. All Bronx ghetto, hard, slang in my car. I didn't understand a thing he was saying. I was like, okay, I can't take this kid another second. So I pulled the car over, I parked on Yonkers Avenue, and I was like, Era, ninde appanara nariyo. So basically I said, either choose English or Malayalam. Don't try to give me this ghetto language. I was like, you're not. And he's like, yes, Chechi.
When I first joined college in in New York, my first exam was approaching, right? So Saji Chetan was coordinator. So he, not because he was coordinator, he had random visions. So he said, let's go and pray for Philadelphia, right? And I said, how do we do that? He said, we will all go in a van, in a Sienna, and we'll travel from one end to the other end, and we'll keep stretching our arms around for Philadelphia. So I said, do I need to actually go with you? Because my exams is on Monday and this is already Friday, So I just have this weekend to study. And he said it in Malayalam, but I'll just say it in English. He said, Sahodara, you have seen God's glory in many times, right? Why don't you just trust Him? And I went, and it was, if you know Saji Chetan's prayer, it was like, I don't know how to. On the way, he was like stretching hands like the prophet, and bless this field, and bless this field, and let the faith multiply like the grains in the field, and all that kind of thing. And I went to the exam, and there's not enough time to tell you all this today. But I'll tell you, the first time in my life, I have never seen this kind of a grade in my life. It was a statistics exam. I got 104 out of 100. And I've never seen 100 till then.
I remember there was this guy named Thomas Polikil, and he was this really cool guy that barely spoke, and he was like, hey bro, do you want to be in a band? And I was like, yes. And he was like, well, do you play an instrument? I was like, yeah, I can play the guitar. He was like, well, what do you think about the bass? I was like, yeah, yes, I could do that. And then we just formed a band. It was a crazy experience. The band unfortunately did not last or materialize.
Hello, dude. Hello, wait, what's up, man? What'd you think of the practice today, dog? What'd you think of the practice?
Are you videotaping me?
What'd you think?
I don't know, whatever, man. Nigga, we got tomorrow. Then we gonna bring a full game. Yeah.
I remember when Tony came when he was in high school, very naughty boy. Tony and all, and Teresa, Maya and all from McAllen, and different regions. These youth will come and they will stay. We never gave them a retreat. We wake up early in the morning to say the divine office or prayers, and they will join us. And then we go for 6:30 mass with our kids on our shoulders, so they will join us for that. Then come back after breakfast. Suljan and Georgette will go to work. But then we homeschool, so then we homeschool, we cook. So these kids become a part of it. While cooking and all, we'll have nice discussions. Very nice discussion, very profound discussions going on.
When I say Jesus, you say youth. Jesus, 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 Jesus.